My own sister broke my arm on my wedding day. All because I wouldn't let her wear my dress. And the most twisted part? My parents helped her do it. The morning started like a dream. I woke up at 6 a.m. in the bridal suite. The sun was streaming in, and my custom Vera Wang dress was hanging by the window, looking like an actual cloud. My best friends, my bridesmaids, were all there, buzzing around with mimosas. Everything just felt right. I was about to marry Derek, the man I'd loved for 4 years. Our future felt golden. My family, my parents, Richard and Susan, and my younger sister Brooklyn, were all staying in rooms down the hall. My mom said Brooklyn needed her own space to get ready. I should have seen that for the warning sign it was, but I was just too happy. I was floating. See, Brooklyn was always the volatile one. Growing up, she'd throw these epic tantrums, screaming until she was purple in the face. And my parents, they always just gave in. They'd do anything to calm the storm. I learned really young to just stay quiet, stay small, and let her have the spotlight. It was easier that way. But this was supposed to be my day. For once. The ceremony was at 2. Around 11:30, there's a knock on the door. It's my mom, but she doesn't look misty-eyed and sentimental. Her face is just tight with stress. And right behind her is Brooklyn, looking like she's been crying for hours. "Honey, we need to talk," Mom said, pushing right past me. My stomach just nodded. "What's wrong?" And then Brooklyn just burst into these loud theatrical sobs. "This isn't fair. Why does she get everything? The perfect guy, the perfect life." I was just baffled. "Brooklyn, you'll have your own wedding someday. Today is about, I want to be the bride," she shrieked. The whole room went silent. "I'm tired of watching you get everything. You don't deserve this." My dad showed up in the doorway then, looking at me like I was the problem. "Vanessa, your sister is having a difficult time. Can't you be compassionate?" "Compassionate?" I felt a snap. "I have been compassionate my entire life, Dad. I've been shrinking myself so she could shine. This is my wedding day." Brooklyn's sobs got louder, and she stumbled towards my dress. "It's so beautiful," she whimpered, reaching out to touch the lace. "Why can't I have something this beautiful?" Alarm bells started screaming in my head. "Brooklyn, please step away from the dress." She turned to my parents, her eyes wide and pleading. "Let me just wear it for a few minutes. Let me see what it feels like." "Absolutely not," I said, my voice firm. I moved between her and my dress. "That's insane." And that's when my mother's face changed. It was a look I knew all too well, the look that came right before she chose Brooklyn over me. "Vanessa, would it really hurt? Just to make her feel better. It'll calm her down." My bridesmaids were just staring, their jaws on the floor. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "Mom, no. This is my wedding dress. I haven't even put it on yet." The answer is no. My dad stepped forward. "You're being selfish." I could feel my voice rising, my control slipping. I'm being selfish? For not wanting my sister to wear my dress on my wedding day. That's when Brooklyn lunged for the dress. I grabbed it first, yanking it off the hanger and clutching it to my chest. And then they were on me. All 3 of them. "Let her wear it," my mother screamed, literally trying to rip the dress from my hands. "Give it to your sister," my father commanded, his fingers digging into my arm. Brooklyn was just screaming, clawing at the delicate lace, pulling with all her might. I yelled, "Get your hands off my dress." But it was too late. There was a sound I will never ever forget. The sound of fabric tearing. It cut through the chaos like a gunshot. We all froze. The bodice was ripped almost in half. Beading was scattered across the floor like tiny sparkling tears. Brooklyn's face went from shock to pure unfiltered rage. "You ruined it." Before I could even process it, she swung. Her fist connected with my jaw. I stumbled back, dropping the ruined dress. She came at me again, and we crashed into the vanity, makeup and flowers flying everywhere. Brooklyn grabbed a heavy glass vase and swung it at my head. I twisted, but she brought it down on my left arm. There was a wet crack. A sound I will feel in my bones for the rest of my life. The world went white with pain. I collapsed, cradling my arm, blood dripping from a cut on my forehead. Brooklyn just stood over me, breathing hard. My blood splattered on her bridesmaid dress. One of my bridesmaids, Sarah, was screaming into her phone. Someone called 911. My father lunged and snatched the phone from her. "No police. Are you insane? Do you know what this will do to Brooklyn's future?" I stared up at him through a fog of pain. My arm was broken. I was bleeding on the floor of my bridal suite. And he was worried about Brooklyn's future. My mother knelt beside me, her eyes filled with accusation. "Vanessa, please don't call the cops. It'll ruin her life. This was just an accident. Fix this." I gasped, tears streaming down my face. "She broke my arm. Look at me." And then the look on Brooklyn's face shifted. It wasn't rage anymore. It was something so much worse. Smug satisfaction. A slow, cruel smile spread across her face as she looked down at me. Well, she said, her voice chillingly calm. If I can't wear it, then you can't either. And she just walked out. She stepped right over me and walked out of the room like nothing happened. I tried to crawl for my phone, but my father kicked it away. Then there was pounding on the door. It was Derek. My fiancé. Derek, help me. I sobbed. My mother rushed to the door, blocking it. She's fine. Just wedding jitters. That doesn't sound fine, he yelled back. Let me in. My father joined her, both of them holding the door shut as Derek tried to get to me. Then my mother shouted something so delusional, I thought I was hallucinating. He left. And your sister is willing to sit next to him now. She'll be the bride today instead. It was chaos. Sarah had managed to dial 911 again. Hotel security arrived. Finally, my parents were forced to open the door and Derek burst in. His face went white when he saw me. The police and paramedics were right behind him. They found Brooklyn in her room, calmly packing her suitcase. She was arrested on the spot. I later found out she actually laughed when they read her rights. The hospital confirmed it. A fractured radius and ulna, a concussion and severe bruising. My beautiful wedding dress was in an evidence bag. My perfect day was a crime scene. The police detective looked at me at the pictures, and then she asked me the question that would change everything. Do you want to press charges? I looked at Derek, his face a mask of fury and heartbreak. And without a single shred of doubt, I said, yes. Against all of them. The news spread like wildfire and things were about to get a whole lot uglier. By the way, if you're sticking with me through this absolute nightmare of a story, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because you won't believe what they tried to do next. My parents hired a shark of a lawyer for Brooklyn who immediately started spinning this story that I was the aggressor. That Brooklyn was having a mental health crisis. My mother sent me texts, begging me to drop the charges. One of them said, they just want the apartment your in-laws promised you. The apartment. Of course. That's what they thought this was about. They couldn't imagine it was about my broken arm, my ruined wedding, my shattered trust. The trial was brutal. Brooklyn got on the stand and lied with a straight face. My parents backed her up, testifying that I'd always been dramatic, that I instigated it. The betrayal was absolute. But the evidence didn't lie. The 911 call, the photos, the security footage of my parents blocking the door, my bridesmaid's testimony. The jury was out for less than 4 hours. Guilty. On all counts. Brooklyn got 18 months in jail. My parents got suspended sentences and heavy fines for unlawful confinement. But I wasn't done. I filed a civil suit against all 3 of them for the cost of the ruined wedding, for my medical bills, for pain and suffering. The jury awarded me $340,000. It would force them to liquidate their retirement savings. Felt like justice, but it was a hollow victory. I had won, but I had lost my entire family. 6 months later, Derek and I got married. A small ceremony in a beautiful garden, with just 30 people who actually loved and supported us. My new mother-in-law, Catherine, gave a toast. She called me one of the strongest people she'd ever met. She said, with us you will always be cherished, always be protected and always be enough. I cried through the whole thing. We built a new life. I changed my number. I threw away the letters my parents sent, filled with blame and self-pity. Brooklyn got out on parole. I got the notification, but I wasn't afraid anymore. I was free. A year later, I ran into my mother at the grocery store. She looked so much older. So small. We locked eyes across the produce aisle, and she opened her mouth to speak. I just turned my cart around and walked away. I heard her call my name once, but I didn't look back. There was nothing left to say. Brooklyn wanted to be the bride. She wanted to destroy my happiness. And for a day she did. But she only took 1 day from me. I took back every single day after that. I got my wedding. I got a real family. I got my life back. The real revenge isn't the money or the jail time. The real revenge is thriving while the people who tried to break you are left with the empty consequences of their own choices. They wanted me to be a victim. Instead, I chose to be a survivor. I really want to know what you guys think. What would you have done in my shoes? Have you ever been in a situation where you had to make an impossible choice to protect yourself? Let me know your story in the comments below.